Hi, and welcome to this video of Dynamics 365 Talk, where I'll be discussing the new features of Sales Navigator, which came out in May and June of 2020. But before we get into it, let me just introduce myself. My name is Dion Taylor, and I'm a Microsoft Business Applications MVP. Feel free to check out my blog at D365goddess.com, follow me on Twitter at D365goddess, or connect with me on LinkedIn by scanning the QR code on the screen. Some of the features I'll be covering today is the Sales Navigator admin console. We are going to have some updates there that I'm going to discuss. I also want to talk about smart links, what that is, how that works. And then we're going to talk about a long-awaited feature where we're now going to be able to create a contact in Dynamics 365 from within Sales Navigator. And lastly, there's going to be some updates to Sales Navigator Notes, which I'm also going to cover in this video. All right, so let's get to it. So you can see that I'm logged into Sales Navigator, and what I'm going to do here is first I'm going to talk to you guys about the admin console. So let me just go ahead and click on admin, and you can see here now that we have admin home, admin settings, and we have account center. Now currently in admin home, you can see here that we have some top objectives: activate your team, right? I can click on here and that will actually take me to the account center. So once I click on that, you can see right now I'm in account center where I can click here on people, I can click back on settings, and you can see here I have users, groups, and admins in here as well. So let me just go back here to Sales Navigator Admin Home. So basically anytime I click on one of these items over here, right, sync your licenses, that's going to take me either to the admin settings or the account settings area. So we just saw that I clicked on invite users and that took me to account center, but again I can just click on account center myself as well, which takes me to the same place, right? I'm going to be able to look at my Sales Navigator licenses. I can invite people if I actually have some invitations left here, and then I can also, right, download this users as CSV. I can make updates here to my users, right, manage their permissions in regards to Sales Navigator, turn on CRM sync, etc. All of that here is in that account center. And then we also have the admin center, and that's really where you're going to do all of your setup, right? You can see here, this is very familiar because we already had this. We're just going to have some additional functionality here. So I'm just going to go ahead and scroll down here. And I'm going to go a little bit further until we get to smart links. So here's where you can update smart links, or not update, but turn it on or off. And smart links is really going to replace Point Drive. And if you're not familiar with that, that was actually where we can share files with prospects and customers. So I can set up a Point Drive link, or now in this case, they're going to be called a smart link. I can add documents to that smart link, and then I can share that. The other thing that I can do here is I can actually turn on, let me just scroll up here, whether or not I want to sync that data of that smart link back to Dynamics 365. Well, what does that mean? That means that as soon as I created that smart link and then sent it out to somebody, when that person actually goes in and reviews my smart link, that's going to create an activity in Dynamics 365 showing that somebody went in and they actually reviewed those documents in that smart link. So that's what this is. Now there's a couple of different ways where we can create a smart link. So I can just go back here to Sales Navigator. And then you can see here that I have smart links. So I'm just going to go ahead and click on that. I'm going to say new smart links. I'm going to put in the title. I'm going to say flyers requested, and you can see here that I can add some content to this smart link as well. So let's see here. I'm going to put in that quote template, just to put something in there, but you can see here that you can add multiple files here. And then you can see here I have a button that says create smart link. And there we go. Here is my smart link. I can now go ahead and copy that smart link and I can send it out. I can send it out by email. I can send it out by using Sales Navigator, however I want to do that, right? And I can even track that as well. For example, if I go here to my contact record of Angel, through that integration that we have with Dynamics 365 and Sales Navigator, I'm just going to go ahead and send him a message. And I want to save that message to CRM. And I can just go ahead and send him that message. And since I'm tracking it in Dynamics 365, you can see here is the message that I just sent to him. So now let's take a look at this from Angel's perspective. So you can see here I'm in LinkedIn, logged in as Angel, and I just got that message from Dion Taylor. Here's the link, so let's take a look at that. I can just go ahead and click on that. And it's telling me that Dion Taylor shared the following content. Okay, I'm going to agree and view. And as you can see, here is that document. So I can just go ahead and review that. So what's going to happen next is I should get an Outlook message basically stating that Angel is currently reviewing, right, that Flyers requested smart link. And then I'm also going to get an activity in my Dynamics 365 instance as well. So let's wait here for a second until I get that message so I can show you what that looks like. And it just came in, so let me go ahead and show you what that looks like. So here is that notification email, right? Basically telling me that Angel is currently viewing, zoom in a little bit, he's viewing the Flyers requested smart link. And then, right, I can see some more detail how Angel has engaged with the files that I've shared. So when I click on that link, I can now see that he actually accessed that for 2 minutes, and I can have expand that as well, right? That he actually looked at my quote template for 2 minutes. So that's very nice. So you saw how I was able to create that smart link by navigating to smart links, but there's another way to do this as well. So I'm just going to go back here to Angel, and here he is, and I can actually start a message from within here as well. I can just enter a note in here, whatever I want to tell him, and then I can copy that message to CRM as well. But what we can do here is if I click on this, this allows me to very quickly from within this message create that smart link directly from within here, and then I can add that obviously to that message from within here as well. So I just wanted to share that as well, that you can do that. Now, lastly, we saw earlier that I received that email stating that Angel was reviewing my smart link. Let's go back to Dynamics 365 and let's refresh my timeline here, and we should now see, and here we go. It still says point drive presentation viewed, right? But you can see that I have the date, I have the time of when he actually was viewing that. So again, that now goes into your Dynamics 365 environment as well on that contact record as an activity. Now, the next piece I wanted to show you, and I'm going to go back to Sales Navigator, and I'm going to go back here to admin and admin settings. And what I wanted to show you is this. We now actually have the ability to allow for contact creation from Sales Navigator into Dynamics 365. Now, you can see here that it says you need to make sure that the auto sync all seat holders with CRM is set to yes, right? And then you can turn this on. So you can say, yes, I want that to happen. And then you can also require an email address when you are creating those contacts from Sales Navigator. So this is just making that field required. And this, what you see over here, select the lead source value that could be associated to contacts created from Sales Navigator. This is pointing at, or I should say, pulling from the field in Dynamics 365, and the system name for that field is lead source code, and that is an option set. So you could add an option set like I did here, Sales Navigator, and so that every time a new contact is created, that's the value that's going to be updated in that out-of-the-box lead source field. So let me show you that lead source field in Dynamics 365. You can go to make.powerapps.com. You can click on entities, and I'm going to search for the contacts entity because obviously we're creating contact records, and therefore, right, it's that entity. And we're looking for lead source code. That's the system name of that field. So if I actually click on that and click on edit option set, this is where those values are coming from. So it's that drop down field called, again, right, lead source code. That's where you can change that. Okay, let's go back here to the admin settings. And again, right, this needs to be set to auto sync all seat holders with CRM to yes. So if you scroll back up, this is where you need to set this to yes, right? Auto sync all seat holders with CRM. Okay, now let's take a look, right, how we can do that. So I already found a contact that I want to sync to my Dynamics 365. Right, you can see here there's not a lot of information on here. I don't, if I click here and edit contact, I don't have a phone number, email address, website, but some of this information, if you have this information on this contact record, it will populate some of those fields automatically. So I'm just going to go ahead and click here on these three dots, and now you can see I have the ability to add this contact to CRM. So I'm just going to go ahead and click on that. It's going to run a query now to make sure that I don't have a duplicate already in my Dynamics CRM system, Dynamics 365 system. I can actually tie this to an account. If I click on this, it's going to search my Dynamics 365 account records. And then I'm going to be able to add this person to an opportunity, and I'm going to be able to select a stakeholder role as well. So I'm just going to say he's a champion, and you can see some of the fields that are already populated, right? First name, last name, country, job title. I could put in an email, and I could put in a phone number, and then I can save this as a lead at Sales Navigator. If I don't want to do that, obviously I can just go ahead and uncheck that, and then I can just save that, and now it's creating that contact record in Dynamics 365, which I think this is a pretty big deal because we couldn't do this before. So there was a lot of copying and pasting and then matching those records up. So it's already doing this obviously automatically. All right, so let's take a look now in Dynamics 365. Okay, so I'm just going to go perform a search. A bunch of test records in here, but I want to go ahead and find that contact that I just created today. And here we are. And you'll see that now it also links, right, that Sales Navigator record here with my Dynamics 365 record. And if I go back to Sales Navigator, you can also see now that this profile is now linked with that contact in Dynamics 365. So if I could click on this, that will open up that record in Dynamics 365. And the last thing I wanted to cover is the notes in Sales Navigator. So if I want to add a note here, and here is my note. As you can see, we now actually have the option to make this note private, which means that it's only going to be visible to me, or I can set this to public, which means this is going to be visible basically to anybody that's accessing this contact. It is important to understand that this is for Sales Navigator only, right? So this has nothing to do with Dynamics 365, right? I can still copy this note to Dynamics 365, right? When I say done, we already had this functionality. But the private or public does not push through there. That is strictly for Sales Navigator, so keep that in mind. That's all that I had for this video, and I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please hit that like button, and be sure to check back again next week for another video. Stay safe, everybody. Have a great day.